Good afternoon, partners. This is Sherman Krancer, Senior Partner Channel Development Manager for the Western United States. I want to say thanks so much for joining us today. So we're going to be talking about how to sell Office 365 for SMB and enterprise, but we also have a special guest. His name is Justin Hampton from Tech Data, and in my opinion, probably the best distribution resource, not just in the United States, but probably in the whole entire world. So we are actually really lucky. We're going to get through how to sell Office 365, and then we're actually going to kind of change things up a little bit. We're going to be playing some video content, possibly, if it works, for you guys. I think you guys are going to love it. So the agenda today is pretty simple. We always start off with our thought leadership portion of it, and then we'll get into our special guest. And we're going to be talking to Justin Hampton. He's going to give us a lot of his thoughts on how partners are utilizing distribution and Tech Data in particular. And then he's going to go into Tech Data by itself and some of the latest and greatest things that are happening with this great distributor. Then we'll get into the package of the week, right? And then we'll talk about how to sell Office 365, the partner resource, the partner opportunity, the market opportunity. And then when we usually have the partner resources, we kind of changed it up here. I included 6 videos of testimonials, and we're going to actually have Justin possibly judge these video testimonials to see who wins the drone. And then for the second place winners, which will be everybody else, we have something for them. Lastly, we'll go into Project LeadGen commitments, and then finally wrap it up with the summary. So let's get into the thought leadership portion of the call first. So the thing I want to talk about today is tenacity. Tenacity, I think defined is really the ability of never saying no, or the ability to pick yourself off from the ground when you've been knocked down, the ability to say, something, I'm going to take on a tough project and I'm going to really keep going forward no matter what. Now, I think a lot of people on this call have a lot of tenacity because you own your own business. And you're out there and you're putting, your family on the line, yourself on the line, your business on the line every single day. So you have tenacity. But I want you to, this time, possibly increase that tenacity load and take on things that you would normally say, gosh, that might be too much for me to take on. So the question is, how many instances of no thank you can or should you take? Now, the highly effective salespeople out there can take over 100 no's per day and not even affect them. I understand that in this industry, that might be a little bit high, but that's the reality of it. How many can you or should you take? When I was in sales, back many years ago, carrying a bag, I would just take no and be like, no big deal. It's easier to give up instead of learn by doing, and that's really kind of my is it easier, and it really is. And I think a lot of us kind of give up on these new ideas and new ways to change our business or evolve because it might seem too hard. But what I ask you to do is not give up and just actually try it and jump in. Next is, are people just really lucky? I'm sure that a lot of partners on this call know of partners that just seem to be really lucky. They're always getting deals. But as I covered last week, you don't get lucky, you create your own luck. And how do you create your own luck? You create that luck by getting out there, having your antenna up, networking, talking, letting everybody that you meet and who what you do for a living and how you might be able to help them. Utilizing social media and all of the new ways that partners are driving revenue for their businesses. Next, tenacity is a part of this next saying, and I talked about this last week. Dreamers talk about what they're going to do, and leaders do what they talk about. So ask yourself, do you have the tenacity to actually do what you're talking about? Now, lastly, I think, when you're down, get yourself up. And that's really what tenacity means. And lastly, we kind of go over this saying every single week. What does just do it mean? And just do it really means just do it. just start, just get going, and move forward on to the next thing. So that's the thought leadership of the week. I hope you can take some of those thoughts and take this week on and be like, something, I'm going to strive to be better, and I'm going to strive to take those negatives and turn them into positives. All right, so let's get into the guests of the week. So one of my favorite people all time, Justin Hampton from Tech Data. Hey, Justin, could you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do and how you do it?
Sure. Hey, Sherman. So thank you very much for having me on today. My background is in distribution, working for the Microsoft team as a TPAM for 3.5 years. So I had a lot of experience with the partners, the programs, the incentives, and of course all of the different key roles within Microsoft itself. And I've now taken that role one step further and am a bit of an evangelist and enabler around cloud technology that helps support the Microsoft stack and helps partners streamline their business and increase profitability in this transitioning world of hybrid cloud technology.
Great, thank you, Justin. I really appreciate that introduction. If you don't know Justin Hampton, you really need to know Justin Hampton. So let's get into some of the thoughts, from Justin, really. And the first one, I think. Let's go back one slide. We went a little too far. What are the most successful partners doing today as opposed to last year? What are your thoughts on that?
Great question, and I think one of your previous slides kind of nailed it on the head. The final point that you made was just do it. So partners who are actually taking action on the items that Microsoft and IDC and Gartner are suggesting that the partners do to make change are the ones that are having the most success. As for real tangible changes that are happening, I think partners are going back to their existing customers that they've sold Office 365 to in the past and identifying ways to upsell or move further up the stack with actual managed services. So Enterprise Mobility Suite or Enterprise Mobility and Security is a great example for following up with existing Office 365 customers. And then also understanding some of the other ISVs that are in market and how they can help not only streamline the partners' practices, but increase profitability and increase productivity and confidence with the cloud with their end customers.
Oh, that's awesome. So where do you think Tech Data excels in the CSP program?
I think we excel in a few areas. One of them is that we were the first partner to have a CSP deal in all of distribution, and I actually was the person who had that deal. It was a 300-seat CSP opportunity out of Portland, Oregon. So being an early adopter certainly gave us an advantage. We spent a great deal of time and resources building out our practices globally, not just in the US, but most notably in Europe. And some of the things we're doing around Azure with our Azure Analytics and our invoicing, whether a partner wants to have invoices for specific customers or all on one bill, the partner has that choice. And we've also built out a private label e-commerce solution for partners.
That's fantastic. So what products do you see as the best combination when partners are putting things together, like packages?
Well, if I were to go and start my own business as a partner today, I think I would probably lead with Office 365 and Enterprise Mobility Suite as one bundled solution. If we want to look outside the Microsoft stack, I hear a lot of positive feedback from partners, from other vendors themselves, and also from Microsoft around Barracuda's Office 365 Essentials. I think that's an outstanding product. Spanning does some great work around the backup side. And then if you're looking for migration tools, you have BitTitan and Skykick for project services around setting up a new Office 365 tenant. So I think any of those are really great products to include in your bundled solutions.
Oh, that's fantastic. So what is, let's talk a little bit about Tech Data. What is Tech Data's commitment to leveling the field?
We have actually created our entire cloud platform, techdatacloud.com, around 3 pillars. It's access, power, and master. So we don't just give you access to the latest and greatest products. By the way, we define those latest, greatest products as what will really be successful in the next 5 years, what will be the next greatest technologies, not just from Microsoft's perspective, but also from Gartner and IDC. And we try to work with those companies, make those products available for you in our solution store. Partners can go there and learn about those products, get certified, and then we have the ability to purchase those products, send out trials to your customers, manage the full customer lifecycle from our Stream One portal. And then if you want to truly become a master of industry, we have the master pillar, which has training and enablement around the Office 365 products, Azure, different cloud products, and we have webinars that we put on through Tech Data. We have industry experts come and present from Microsoft, some of those other vendors that I mentioned earlier, and also partners who are leading by adopting themselves.
Oh, that's fantastic. I think that's, something that, we have seen with Tech Data, and we're really happy that you're going in that direction. So, what advice, would you give to new partners or partners who have been in the program for a while?
Well, first of all, congratulations to the partners who've been in for a while and who have gone through the processes. It certainly wasn't an easy process to start with CSP, but you did it. You just got out there and did it. There are constantly changes happening, new ISVs being added almost daily to our platform. New processes, new improvements to our processes are happening all the time. I know from a development perspective, our development team is going through these 2-week sprints to make that end user experience and that partner experience through our Stream One portal better every day, and it's thanks to the feedback from you. So whether you're a new partner or if you're looking at getting into the CSP game, I would certainly recommend checking out the distribution offering, going through Tech Data as your CSP provider, and just finding out everything that we have to assist you. We also have a team of 35 people to assist you with onboarding, any questions you may have, and also getting trained.
I think that's a great way of describing it, and the evolving nature of CSP and kind of how you've approached it and what you're doing to innovate and kind of move forward. But let me ask you this: if you get back to the innovation angle here, what would you say is the best innovation that has come from Tech Data in this new, ever evolving timeframe?
I think the greatest innovation for us is probably our Azure Analytics in Stream One. So I had a partner put it to me this way, because I'm not very technical, but he mentioned, Justin, Azure's great. You can find out the cost of a kilowatt hour like you can with an electric bill, but then you have a really hard time metering it through CSP and tracking what that actual spend is, and that makes transacting Azure and CSP fairly difficult. So what Tech Data has done is we've actually created live tracking where you can see what your actual consumption is for your entire partner tenant, or you can also drill down to your specific end customers, and then coming within the next 60 days, you can even get granular down to the specific workloads, and you can see how much consumption they're actually using in Azure, and you can also set budget and spend for your customers too. So let's say a person is tracking to go over their limit, you have color coding and alerts that can go out at about the 70% mark that, hey, you might go over your spend for the month, or of course you get an alert if you've gone over. I think having the ability to see what the customer is actually consuming and then go back to them in real time and say, here are your areas of opportunity is really invaluable.
So why should partners choose Tech Data as their CSP distribution partner?
Great question. I think they do have some choice out there, and we are extremely competitive. Again, being a leader in the industry and having the first CSP deal gives us an advantage there. But the analytics tab, the Azure consultants that we have on our team to help drive Azure consumption, I think we're leading in the world with that right now, and we're the only partner in the United States that has that analytics tab I mentioned before, and one of only 2 partners globally that have that feature. The way that our site is set up to really work with you, not just to sell you a product, but to truly partner with you to grow your business, evaluate solutions, and make sure that you're presenting the most valuable solution to your customer, are certainly things that I think separate us from competition.
That's a great answer. That it really is. Hey, so on November 1st, we're launching Dynamics 365, and I think there's a lot of confusion out there. Who's ready, who's not. How is Tech Data prepared, for this launch?
Well, another advantage that Tech Data had with being a leader. Microsoft decided to have their global launch for the Dynamics 365 right in our backyard at Amalie Arena, where the Tampa Bay Lightning play, about 20 minutes from our office. So we had several people on hand, along with partners who were there working with Microsoft around that release. We have our team trained and ready for the Enterprise Dynamics 365 products on November 1st, and we will have them queued up for partners.
Oh, that's great. All right. Hey, so let's get into Tech Data Explained. I think that's kind of like my idea behind it. And really, Justin's going to drive this, and he's going to drive and talk about how Tech Data is approaching CSP, cloud partners, and go through a couple of I think incentives towards the end. But I'll let Justin take it away.
Okay. Well, I actually like this slide a lot. This sort of shows you the 4 pillars that Tech Data All Up is based around right now. And as you can see right off the bat, cloud is really in Tech Data's DNA. It's not something that's new for us. We focus on cloud, data center, mobility, and supply chain. I think we do all 4 of those extremely well, and that's what makes Tech Data so unique. So we can move on to the next slide here.
Okay.
This slide sort of talks a little bit more specifically about CSP and cloud with Tech Data. So we've built our solutions. We have them available for you in one central location. We have a team of solutions consultants. We are able to do marketing campaigns. We can leverage your MDF dollars from your vendors to reach out to end customers and then pull those leads back into you and help truly drive your business. We have the best possible pricing available to you up front, and then we have APIs available to you where if you already do have e-commerce functionality available through your site today, we have a very open source marketplace where we provide those APIs to you and you can integrate right away. If you don't have your own solution, then Tech Data can certainly provide that to you with our private label offering that I'll talk about in just a moment. And actually, oh great, we have that slide ready for you now. So our private label solution we showcased at WPC this year. We got a lot of great feedback from partners, and we have several partners on board around the country now. If you ever want to see a video on this, you can visit techdata.com/cloudpower, and there are several different videos around our Stream 1 platform and also around the private label solution itself. You'll see a company called Cloud Envy, and just imagine your company's logo is put in that location, your coloring, your logo, etc. And you have access to this marketplace. You can customize it. Today, the version that's available is you're able to create bundles with Tech Data solutions, so products that we have available in our marketplace now. The next version coming down the road will allow you to bundle your own IP with the products available through Tech Data, and we'll be able to reconcile the billing on one end where you pay Tech Data for the products you purchase through us, and then you would pay yourself or the other vendors through that model as well. And you have access to this portal. You can set up the billing, whatever pricing you want to send to your customers, and you have control over who has access to that. So if you want to give your sales team access only, by all means do that. Or if you want to give each one of your end customers the ability to either place an order or just create a shopping cart and then alert you to place the order for them, you can do that through the private label solution as well.
Can you, with this private label solution, I think this is amazing. Can a partner potentially use this as like their, a public facing, where they're just driving all their potential clients and customers to the portal to order?
Yes, I have a partner in San Francisco right now who already has e-commerce capabilities set up on their site. It was not for the Office 365 or cloud marketplace, it was for their hardware, but they were so impressed by our model that they are planning to copy this model for their entire site and then just have a link on their site for the customer where the customer won't even know they left the partner's site. It just reroutes them to this. The customer has the same look and feel, and it's a very professional look and feel. All of the vendor information is provided by the vendors, or if the partner wants to include their own FAQs, their own white label materials, they can do that too.
You know what I think is amazing about this, and I tell you, what's amazing is that we talk about having a call to action on your website. We talk about the customer life cycle or life journey, right? Mm-hmm. And we know that 80% of customers have already made a decision to buy the product when they get to your website. So how do you help them buy the product? Well, you put something like this up that's easy, that's understandable, that they can just go ahead and click an order and then alert you, and then you can give them a call back. So, hey, hats off to you guys about this. Is really, really fantastic. Really great way to innovate and provide, partner value. I think you're going to talk about getting more done with Azure, right?
Yes. So you had asked earlier about what we're doing to sort of separate ourselves and really continue to move ahead. I think the next step for a lot of these partners who are familiar with Office 365 is getting your foot in the door with Azure. Moving your customers up that stack and then having those true managed services that are reoccurring, not just selling somebody a product, but really an all-up solution. So we've gone ahead and created 5 bundled solutions that are sort of canned and ready for you to go to market with today in our marketplace for Azure. These workloads were basically identified by Microsoft as the core workloads that partners could deploy immediately and find profitability with right away. We actually have 15 workloads that are canned and ready to go, but we wanted to make the first 5 available to you. So we have backup and site recovery, file storage, disaster recovery, SQL Server, and virtual machines available in the marketplace today. As soon as you go in and you select the workload that you want for your customer, you basically just place the order and it's automatically provisioned right away in real time. And voila, you have a solution up and running that your customer can then grow with in Azure today.
I love this slide because we've basically been talking about Azure and all of these backup. We've talked about site recovery, we've talked about file storage, we've talked about SQL, we've talked about virtual machines, hybrid infrastructure for the past 10 weeks, and literally you can just go in there and actually start selling that. We've given you all those packages of the week that include this stuff, but I think this is just really, really fantastic.
Not to interrupt you, but I actually had another point to make on that. I think I might have gotten a little ahead of myself. I talked about the canned solutions we have once you've made the sale, but of course, you have to get to that point with your customer first. So we do have tools and services available for you. I think we have one of the best, if not the best, Azure teams in the world on site, and we also have a partnership with NetEnrich. I think some of the partners out here have heard of a program called the Azure Mentor Program, and that's where Microsoft has partnered with some of the top Azure partners in the country, and then provide those guys as consultants to you. Well, we actually have a partnership with NetEnrich, and these guys can help you with actual assessments to close a deal with your customer and find out where that real opportunity is. And there's another tool that we have. We've partnered with BitTitan around a product called the Health Check for Azure. Essentially, this is software that runs in a customer's environment for 14 days. And then gives you a report at the end. Now, you do have to have some general knowledge around Azure to be able to present this report to your customer, but you can include these results with an actual proposal or an assessment when you show this to your customer, and you can show them in real time, hey, Mr. Customer, here's your opportunity. Here are some workloads that you should consider moving to the cloud. It'll be less expensive for you, and by the way, I can manage it for you for less than you were paying for a hardware or on-premises solution in the past. So I think not only leveraging our 5 canned workloads, but leveraging our tools with NetEnrich and BitTitan's Health Check for Azure are really going to help you find success in the cloud.
That's great. Giving the partners options and kind of helping them understand that it isn't that difficult to build or add on to their practice. I think is phenomenal. I think the next one is about Azure Analytics, I do believe.
Yes, sir. So I just included a screenshot on these slides to show you what that analytics looks like. I had to break it into 2 parts. So once you go into your order tracking in our Stream 1 marketplace, you're logged in as yourself, as the partner. You automatically see what your available credit is, and then how much your customer has actually consumed, or excuse me, how much your all-up account has consumed. You can, again, set alerts for this yourself. You can see the usage based on budget or based on remaining credit that you have, and then overall project usage that you may have assigned. And I think the next screenshot, if I did include that, would show how you can actually get granular, not just down to your specific customers. You could drill into each one of them and see what they're consuming today, but you can drill down even further and see how much each specific workload is consuming. So let's say they've got several different virtual machines running, and they may also have a SQL solution running that is running 24/7, and it doesn't really need to be. This is a great chance for you to log in, catch it in real time, and again, follow up with that customer with real-time opportunity to either upsell, downsell, meter this, or set an actual budget so you don't have to follow up with your customer and have a red light scenario. You can actually see what they're consuming today.
I don't know about you, but this is pretty exciting stuff. Yeah. I think it's pretty crazy. I think so. The next slide, I think you're talking about exclusive promos for Microsoft partners.
Yes. So of course we want to help you get to Azure, we want to help you get to CSP with Office 365 and with Azure. We have a promo right now to help you get those existing customers off of the advisor model. So if you wanted to move them from advisor or to open, if you had subscriptions that were ending, we're essentially able to pay you up to $2,000 for moving those customers over if you have up to 2,000 seats or more that you want to move over. If you can move them by November 30th, then we're happy to help you with that transition and essentially get the $2,000 or up to $2,000. We have an open to CSP incentive running, and we also have that Net and Rich and EMS promo. So we've talked a little bit about EMS, and I think, Sherman, you've touched on it in other calls, the Enterprise Mobility and Security Suite.
Yeah.
It's not just a license that you sell. It's not just a one and done project service for deploying it for the customers. There truly is some management that needs to go on there. So Net and Rich has a pretty compelling product around EMS, and it helps you deploy the Azure AD Premium and manage that for the customer. And we're actually giving that away for free. And I think earlier on, you'd heard me mention the health check for Azure. The health check for Azure is licensed per node, and you can, again, identify workloads to move to the cloud. That typically retails for around $60, and we are giving away the health check for Azure for free for you right now, too, to help you get your foot in the door with the customers, provide the assessments, and see how valuable a tool like this can be in driving not only consumption amongst the end customers, but driving business for yourself and moving those customers to the cloud.
Yeah, I think the point really thank you, Justin, that was really great. The point I think of this and talking about tech data and bringing the awareness of the distribution panel, I'll frame it with an example. I had a call this morning at like 8 a.m., right? Mm-hmm. I had a partner who had sent me a note saying, hey, I don't know if this is really worth my time. I'm not a CSP provider. I don't sell Office 365. And then I asked why, and he says, well, there's just no money in selling, EMS or, Dynamics 365, $4. What are you going to make out of that? And I said, well, you're right. You're not going to make anything if you're just selling line item SKUs. It's just you'd have to sell 1 million of those licenses to make good residual or a good margin, right? But when I explained and what tech data is doing, I'm bringing it back to tech data. What they're doing is helping you, increase overall revenue by helping you understand packages and understanding, and helping you with, deployment of those services, right? And then talking about how they've, partnered with, Net and Rich, EMS, all these things. And so when I explained that to the partner, and I said, hey, something, it's not about licensing, it's about packaging. And let me show you how you can make 40% margins, 50% margins, 60% margins. It's really up to you, but it's about packaging. And I think with all of the different products and services that tech data offers, packaging is really the way to put it together. Would you agree on that point, Justin?
I would absolutely agree. Okay. And I think the partners that are having the most success, I'll go back to your very first question you asked me. The partners who are having the most success are the ones who have found the attach motions that they want to go through, and they're following up with their existing customers, and they're basically saying, hey, Mr. Customer, I know that you have the Office 365, the productivity solution, but there really is a security element that we need to talk about today, and we need to go and attach that for you. And then for any new customers, they're leading with productivity, security, and mobility bundle. That's what they lead with. And if the customer doesn't take that, then they don't want to work with that customer because they're not able to provide the full suite, the full solution that they feel they're compelled to provide as a true solution provider. So yeah, I think you need to find the right way to attach specific products, find out how to have those conversations, and partner with distribution partners like Tech Data so you can buy it all in one place and get training and have true support there to help you with your deals.
That's awesome. So I think by example, that leads us into the next section, which is Package of the week, which is super awesome. Package of the week. Every week we bring you a new package, a new idea, not necessarily something that, Microsoft is saying, hey, this is the way to do it and you're definitely going to make X amount of dollars or X amount of margin. It's more about framing the idea of the package pertaining to the products and services that we're talking about today. So we get into it, and the package of the week starts, and I called it the Collaboration Complete Gold Package. Now, it always starts with the MSP Tier 1 services, and the reason why we do that is because you can offload that to a distributor, just like Tech Data. Justin, do you have Tier 1 services, help desk services that you could provide to partners?
Tier 1 and 2, yes, sir.
All right, there we go. So there you go. So and it can be from anywhere from $8 to $14 a month per user, but you can charge $20 or $25. Big way to start out your margins, right? So now we're not even talking about licensing. You have that. Then we get into Office 365 E3 Edition, software as a focus. One of the things that I've noticed with a lot of partners is that they're looking at Office 365 and they think email. When I joined Microsoft, which was very interesting, I remember talking about Office 365 as software as a focus. All I ever sold it for was, hey, you get 5 different downloads. Right? Let's talk about collaboration, productivity, all these different things, and email was an afterthought because you're talking about how you're going to help the organization you're working with, right, achieve more, be more collaborative, reduce time and expenses. So focus on that piece of it, okay? Next, migration of Exchange and telco services, okay? So on the migration point of it, that's where the email comes in. But you're not putting yourself in a position where you're reducing your potential margin by focusing just on email. You're focusing on the whole software based. Then you can put in a proposal to upgrade the internet service. Why not? Contact me if you need an introduction to a company who can help you with that. SharePoint-based vertical workflows. So now we always talk about verticals in this program, right? So if it's a doctors or medical or transportation or retail, you're putting together a small SharePoint that has workflows based on that industry. You can also tack in Office 365 telemetry, security assessment, and assurances. Now that's another big piece of it. And then we have 2 more things, mobility and multi-factor authentication. So we're adding EMS to this. And then lastly, Barracuda Office 365 Essentials. Now this is what's showing how you can package other things that are on Tech Data's marketplace. Let me just go back to Justin real quick. Can you explain the Barracuda Office 365 Essentials?
Sure. So it is a backup solution for Office 365 and SharePoint. I think there are a lot of solutions out there that work really well, but what I'm getting feedback from in the partner community is just how easy the Barracuda solution is deployed. Literally minutes it's deployed, and it's very easy for an end user to go and let's say recover any sort of deletion that may have happened, whether maliciously or on accident. It's very easy to go in and do that. You don't have to necessarily have very technical skills to go find that information. I know Microsoft already provides that in their suite of solutions. However, Barracuda just makes it a little easier, and it's a very easy add-on for a partner to sell. If you wanted to sell it as a branded Barracuda solution, you can, because they've done a great job with their to end customer marketing, or you can remove the Barracuda branding and then just list whatever the actual functionalities are that you want to include in your Collaboration Complete Gold package.
Awesome. And then lastly, don't forget the training aspect. Okay, show them what you know. Right, show them what you know and charge a healthy margin for that. What they don't know about Office 365, your customers will astound you. And the partners who are doing very well are sitting there saying, hey, do you know what OneNote is? Hey, do you understand how to work Office OneDrive? Do you understand, some of these cool new features in Office Outlook 2016? Those are the partners who now, elevate their posture or elevate their value to these potential clients. All right, so let's get into the meat of the whole program here, and it's really modernizing your workplace with Office 365. We always know that the first slide is always just a whole lot of information, but we break it all down. So we got to get into the customer, the market, and the partner opportunities. So this way you can help frame it and you can understand why you're adding Office 365 to your line of business, but not just 365 as an exchange, but we're talking about, looking at software as the focus, because that helps us cross-sell and upsell. So, all right, let's get into it. Customer needs. So these are the psychological needs that our customers are looking for. So they're looking to work across a variety of devices. Now, this is where, the 5 different downloads, right? And they have, they have a desktop, and they have a laptop, but they have an iPad, and they got an Android phone, and they're all over the place. They have no allegiance to any one particular device, so they have them all. So Office 365, what they need is the ability to be able to do that, work across different things. Then they also need the ability to, whether they know this or not, the ability to work on files different than the way they used to work on files. So in the old days, and actually still I guess it's still the old days, I guess. I mean, but right now, 80% of the small to medium-sized businesses out there who have regular Office, they are basically chained to their desk or chained to their laptop, right? But with Office 365, you can, 5 different downloads. So they would like to have that. And they also want to be able to understand that they have the right people working on their stuff and together. And that's kind of like, forming the groups, teams, different types of things. They also want to reduce travel and expenses. There's not a better way to reduce T&E than to start talking to them about Skype for Business. Look at Skype for Business for just conferencing, by the way. As most companies, they have 2 or 3 conferencing codes, right? But they don't have a conference code for every single, user on their network. But now with Skype for Business, they do. And then lastly, security and peace of mind. So Justin, what else do you think, or what other things do you think might be important, from a customer's perspective?
So I actually happen to be a CIE facilitator, a customer immersion experience facilitator. And when you go in to do these presentations to end customers, it's usually a mixed audience, right? And not everybody has the same role. Maybe their industries are even different. But you do a whiteboarding session where you ask the people about the challenges they experience, and reading over these customer needs. Those are pretty much the exact questions or exact challenges that come up every single time without fail with every CIE session that we do. What else would I add to that? I think, well, we have security and peace of mind included. Presence, I know it's kind of vague in a general term, and we talked a little bit about cutting down on travel expenses, all up, but just having the ability to see through IM if a person is in the office or not, instead of sending an email and hoping that they're in that day and responding. You can actually look through a color coding and see if they're available, if they're going to get back to you right away, or if they're away from their desk. So I think just the time saving and peace of mind, knowing where your employees are is pretty valuable as well.
Great. Market opportunity. We get into this real quick. $127 billion is the number. 2018 projected worldwide public IT cloud services revenue, right? 60% of the Fortune 500s have already adopted Office 365. But the one thing I want you to look at is 20% adoption rate in SMB in Office 365. When I joined Microsoft a year and a half ago, it was about 12%. So it's a land grab opportunity. Super important that you're, really, taking market share. You're grabbing market share really for life here in establishing beachheads. So let's get into the partner opportunity. We're going to run through some of these really quickly. Well, first, let me just ask Justin, what do you think is the partner opportunity with Office 365?
Oh, I think there's opportunity for everybody. You don't have to make a full transition to your business to become a managed service provider if you're not one today. But I have calls daily with partners who are even involved in the enterprise space, or maybe they were strict resellers only, and then handing off an opportunity for project or managed services to another partner, which, by the way, is great. I highly recommend having partnerships, not just with distribution, but through the IAMCP or other trusted specialists that you trust in. But I do think being knowledgeable and understanding the market opportunity itself, your business can grow exponentially. I have a partner in Salt Lake City right now who is a $50 million partner who is looking to grow to become a $100 million partner in 18 months. And that sounds extreme, but it is extremely possible. And I think they're well on their way to doing that today.
That's great. And I really appreciate your insight on that because it's coming not from Microsoft, but from Tech Data. You're in the thick of it. You see what the partners are doing. But so, the opportunity for you is delivering end-to-end, solutions, complete solutions, collaboration, right? Talking about, hybrid scenarios. If you add in Azure Active Directory and Azure Backup and Storage and EMS and Skype, integrate with line of business applications and leverage the APIs that we have already produced and created and made sure that it all works, introduce those things. And then, really the last point is really establishing a beachhead. That's the opportunity. Establish a beachhead with a customer right now that will be joining or will be converting to Office 365 in the future. You might as well, start there and get in, show them what you know, show them how to utilize these things, and then, move forward from that. All right, so let's get into the Office 365 profitability opportunity here. Modern collaboration. So these are the things that you can offer. You can provide the cloud shifts from the world from individual creation to the ability where everybody can collaborate. You can provide the Surface Hub and Skype for Business to enable their voice applications and conversations. You can utilize the groups that we are putting together in OneNote and use that with Surface Hub to collaborate a little bit better. Tools like Yammer and OneDrive. And lastly, and I can't say this the most, Skype for Business is just amazing. We are having some big announcements coming up pretty soon about the availability of a lot of new features, and that's really about how we're all going to collaborate in the future. Now, moving into personalized insight, I think this is very interesting because these are some of the things that really help our customers, achieve more and be more, productive in their workforce. And it's really like Delve, right? And it's the ability to, basically look at the people in your office and what are they doing? What are they saving into the cloud? What are they working on? Can you collaborate on it? Who's working on it? You can use Office Graph. And the machine learning techniques to, kind of figure out what are the relationship between people and content and the activity that occurs within those different groups. And then lastly, Office 365 is the platform that democratizes business intelligence and enables not only personalization of their data using the BI integration points and the APIs, but crucially helps people drive insights out of data that they didn't realize they had or could use to increase profitability. Lastly, Microsoft Azure Active Directory Premium, very important to understand this. You can use this to provide multi-factor authentication, for your clients to secure their environment. It comes with our best-in-class security options, our privacy by design, which ensures the customer information can only be delivered to specific devices. And then, our compliance leadership, has been earned by, driving and adopting compliance standards. If you look at all the different compliance standards, you'll be amazed at how many different things that we can provide. All right, so let's roll into project, managed, or packaged IP. Really simple here. We always talk about project, and then we go into managed services. But I think what was more important is I got rid of the first two because what we want you to do is understand how do you create packaged IP. That's where the margins are, 65%. Okay, margins, because you're packaging things that are going to help you build revenue. Justin, let me ask you this. I'm throwing it back over to you.
Okay.
What do you think about packaging and IP and what is Tech Data's thoughts on it?
Well, we certainly realize the opportunity too, because in distribution, when you're selling a license or hardware, you're looking at a penny on the dollar, right? There's not a whole lot of money to be made on that single transaction. So how do we find profitability? Well, we find profitability through enabling our partners that we sell through to sell additional solutions to those customers. Now that the cost of the product has come way down, moving from from a capital expense to an operational expense, these consumers, these customers have more money to spend on these project services, on these actual managed services, to be more competitive in the enterprise space. And of course, the managed services are typically some sort of an IP, an intellectual property that was designed by that customer, by that partner, something they do extremely well. So differentiating yourself, finding out what you do well, is going to just increase your bottom line. It's going to increase our profitability because we're trying to identify ISVs that help streamline those processes for you. And I think all in all, down the road, we're going to find a great deal of profitability, especially as we go into years 2 and beyond.
Thank you very much. That's awesome. You hit the nail right, on the head there. So, all right. So we got through that one. Now let's get into the next, and this is going to be the fun part. This is partner testimonials. We ran a contest last week, right? And I even sent a reminder saying, hey, where are the testimonials? Because I'm going to be creating them for you as well after today. So we got, I think, 6 testimonials from partners. And remember when I said we were going to give away a drone, right, for the winner of the contest? We're going to have Justin actually be the one who is going to judge these testimonials. So we're going to start one. His name is Asim Nayar, and we'll go ahead and push play and see if it works.
Information technology. We're an IT professional services business in San Francisco and the Denver area. We mainly service the Denver metro area as well as the Silicon Valley area. This is just a short comment on the Microsoft Community Connections program, specifically the project.
All right, hold on, Asim. Wait, we had a little technical difficulty there.
I'm the founder of Epic Information Technology, and Sherman Krancer has been a really great help and a really kind of like a godsend for my business, meaning that he's been mentoring me and really pushing me in my business to get my name out there and partnering with some associations. Currently, I've partnered with the Society of Financial Service Professionals, the Cal CPA, the San Francisco Chamber of Commerce, as well as I'm about to partner with the Santa Clara Chamber of Commerce and then the Alameda Bar Association. So with these partnerships, it's really helped me grow my business by getting leads, as well as marketing my business and getting my business name out there in the community. So I really thank Sherman for introducing me to the program.
Thank you, Asim. Pretty much, I really appreciate that one. All right, let's get to the next one here. This is Manish Bardia. We may only play certain parts of the excerpts because we got to be a little careful with our time here.
Consulting. We are in Orange County, California. We work in cloud migration and also help our client with their cloud investments. So we make sure that they are fully utilizing the cloud. So that means deploying SharePoint, using SharePoint technologies for their intranet, or bringing their information to their fingertips by the use of Power BI, a business intelligence tool from Microsoft, or doing custom applications. Today, I just wanted to mention something about Microsoft Community Connections, MCC, and how it has helped AdepTech increase the business footprint. First of all, it helped with the marketing. So whenever we are doing events, it's not for the small group. Now it's large number of people are showing up, and we are able to do more with a less number of events. So our marketing outreach has increased. In addition, we have been closing more business. So it has added to our business growth, added to the revenue. So definitely, I highly recommend doing events with MCC and getting engaged with Microsoft Community Connections. All the best. Thank you.
That was pretty good, Justin. That was pretty. That wasn't bad.
Of course, all right, so knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. All right. So we saw Sam last week, but I'm going to give him just a few seconds here, and then we'll move into the next one. Sam is a great partner of ours.
Nominated us to be part of a team which stands for the Indus Entrepreneurs. It has a whole bunch of entrepreneurs from Indians or South Asia subcontinent, and they also have a pretty good roster of all the mentors who help these budding entrepreneurs grow their businesses. So with the MCC events, again, you have to meet these mentors and other successful entrepreneurs 7 to 12 times before they trust you and want to do business with you. So ongoing, events with them and meeting with them and building relationship over time, building trust and confidence, and slowly we are able to get over 700 seats of Office 365 from this relationship we built through the TIE program. And we had a trade booth in the conference and ongoing MCC.
Thank you, Sam. That was a pretty good one. All right. Next one is from Mark Oliver. He decided to do it just audio, but the audio is absolutely amazing. And, it's really great. So you don't always have to do video, front facing.
I'm just reaching out here today and like everybody to know how much Project LeadGen has helped out our company, and just wanted to share some of the ideas and some of the things that we've really experienced with this project. There's nothing really all that complicated about Project LeadGen. The only difficult part is doing what you're told. I kind of break it down into 3 different areas. You got the basics. Most of us already know the basics. We know about sales. We know about marketing. We've got the ideas. We're peppered with this stuff day in and day out. What Project LeadGen does, and specifically what Sherman Crancer really helps with, is they support it and they make suggestions that actually fit your business and they make it work better, so that you're a little bit smoother and you're a little bit more proactive with some of the things that you've done. Some of the things that we've experienced over at Group Oliver is we've gone from an organization that kind of bounced all over the place, and the latest thing that walked in the door was the thing that we did. Today we've got a fundamental plan. I'd love to tell you that it was perfect, and we're always walking in the same direction, but fundamentally, we're going in the right direction. That's the big deal. Along with that, what it's done is it's helped grow our business, profitable business, over 20% the last 12 months. In addition, the other part that's really slick with this is in growing that business, we're doing it in a controlled fashion and in a fashion that makes sense for our business. The employees are happier. We're not bouncing all over the place doing all the crazy stuff that we used to do for anybody and everybody.
Thank you, Mark Oliver. That was pretty good, Justin.
Yes.
All right, so we got Brent Fairbanks here. Love Brent. He is a great partner of ours. We'll go ahead and play his.
With electronic and computer specialties. Since 1986, our company has been providing support to accountants, tax professionals, and small businesses to implement accounting solutions. Now, if you're anything like I am, you're probably a lot better at explaining technology to customers who are interested than you are at actually finding customers. Well, now Microsoft has a brand new program that'll help me find customers. That program is Project LeadGen. This new program is incredibly efficient and effective in helping companies just like mine find customers in my target market who are actually looking for me. Now, the question you should be asking yourself about Project LeadGen isn't if it's going to work for you. The question is going to be whether you're going to be letting this opportunity slip past you. Microsoft Community Connections. It's good for you. It's good for your customers. It's good for the community. Well, I got to go now. We've got a lot of leads to follow up on. I hope you join me in our success.
All right, Brent, I love that one. That was awesome. What do you think, Justin? That was pretty good.
I definitely dig Brent's, yes.
All right, so we have Purely Cloud here. Oh, let me go back. Let's see. Well, we have technical difficulties here. We're going to go with
Five-Star Legal.
Five-Star Legal.
Five-Star Legal is a Microsoft eDiscovery partner. We work with attorneys in legal and investigatory matters and specialize in helping organizations identify, preserve, and collect information from within Office 365. Five-Star Legal has registered 3 Microsoft Community Connections presentations before nonprofit associations in October. Project LeadGen has helped the 5-Star Legal team think about new business models within the cloud-first world. 5-Star Legal is a proud member of the MCC and Project LeadGen team.
Wow, that was awesome. That was absolutely awesome. Well, so let's Justin, what do you think is the best one? Let's pick a winner.
That's okay. So it was a close call. If we were doing just audio only, I would probably give it to Brent, even though I consider Mark, love you. I actually consider you a close personal friend, and I'm happy to help grow your business to 20% over the past year. I think Brent would have beat you on just the audio, but the 5-Star Legal, just the professionalism, the appearance of not even reading from a screen, looked like she was staring into the camera the whole time. She was not a vertical offender, so that her camera angle was set correctly. I think all the way around. And by the way, her background was busy. It gave you something to look at in the background, but you're still drawn to her, and the message was very clear and concise. So 5-Star Legal gets my vote.
All right, well, there it is. 5-Star Legal wins the drone. Now, hold on a second. Justin has something else that he's going to provide for the other winners, and then I have something else on top of that.
Yes, so we actually do an assessment at Tech Data called the Cloud Mastery Assessment, and it's an organizational level assessment where you sort of assess the operational or infrastructure of your company, the sales capabilities, the accounting, and just the all of business practices for your company. You take this assessment, and then based on industry standards, based on your peers' feedback, we get a printout on the end that really gives you some actionable steps to take to grow your business and find more profitability and success with this evolving hybrid cloud technology and the way that we're consuming it on a monthly basis versus just a one-time point of sale or following up on an anniversary. So you take that assessment, and then it'll truly help you grow your business. We sell those all day long for $200 a piece, but for these people who are proactive enough to just do it and send in their actual videos, we're going to go ahead and provide those assessments to them as well.
That's awesome. And by the way, I want to let everyone know that I'm not giving away just one drone. Actually, for all of the partners who submitted that we covered today, I'm going to give them a drone each. So we're going to give away 6 pretty awesome drones. Thank you everyone for doing that. Pay attention when I put out a contest. And more importantly, we're going to record something back for you to put on your website to help drive more sales and revenue. All right, so we're kind of coming up to the end of our thing. We're going to actually bypass the weekly partner questions, go straight into Project LeadGen next steps. If you haven't downloaded the program yet, make sure you go to this link over here, https://aka.ms, ready to go. /PLG. Now, if you want to get the program and you're not on the Q&A section of the call, I just put in there, it's aka.ms/PLG, PLG power. Okay. And lastly, you can always reach out to eGen. So in summary, we have talked about a lot of different things today. We've talked about Tech Data. We've talked about, Office 365. We talked about video testimonials. One thing we may have missed with there is that, it's not always the best the first time you did it, but, just doing it. And that's why I want to award the partners that are doing that, we've also covered, the package of the week, right? And how to package and create, IP. So, in summary, thank you so much for coming in here. Now, Justin, what are your last thoughts, for the group?
Well, we truly are here to partner with you, not just sell you something. We want to help grow your business. I'm also a member of the IAMCP, so I do believe in the pillar of partnership. If you have any questions at all, by all means, reach out to us. I got my number and my email address listed there. I can be your initial point of contact, and as questions come up, I can put you in touch with the right people if I don't know the answer myself. But we all want to find profitability and success. We want to provide the best possible solutions to our customers, and we certainly want to work with you to achieve your goals and your customers' goals.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Justin. Thank you very much for coming on the show. I am, it's been a pleasure to have you on here. I'm glad that we could help the partners understand, a little bit more about Tech Data and what you are doing. Hey, so stay tuned. Next week, we are going to be covering Dynamics 365, and we have a special guest, Manish Bardia, who's a good friend of mine. You saw him as one of the video testimonials, and we really look forward to talking to you about Dynamics 365, all these new changes that are coming up. And thanks again for coming today. We really appreciate it. Have a great day, and thanks again. Bye-bye.
Thanks.